Today I'm in the Welsh border town of Chepstow, and this is the cemetery. Over here you can see the older section, and then we have a road running through the cemetery, and on the far side is the newer graves. Well, not so many in the older section. We'll pick out a couple before we go across the road and look at the many more newer ones. If you look at this area here, there are quite a number of horizontal stones, but the ground is very soft and they've all sunk at crazy angles, and the inscriptions just not decipherable. A very solid one here on a massive concrete base. This one hasn't slipped into the earth, so maybe it's a factor of how well the stonemason did the job when they erected these tombs. This one says also Edward Peter Pillinger, the youngest son, who died in 1871. So there are a number of inscriptions on this one for the Pillingers. And another very large one which has survived where others have failed. This is John Schofield, 1874, aged 55 years, and his wife Matilda Sophia Smith Schofield. The tall one has got iron railings around it, at least on 3 sides. They seem to have been removed on the 4th side, and that allows us to see the inscription clearly. And it reads, James Edgar Chapman of this parish, who departed this life 1850, aged 35 years. And then Jane Mary Chapman, his wife, who followed in 1902, and quite a long time she lived after he gone. Obviously a family grave here. There are names around the edges of the curbstone and on the small plinths which are standing in front of the main cross. I'll show you the name on the original owner of this grave. Jack Hollins, Royal Army Medical Corps, killed in action in France, aged 24 years. Also Percy Hollins, aged 45, Matilda Jane Hollins, and then John Hollins. And most of the other inscriptions are Hollins, although I noticed one down here, presumably married, one of the daughters, is a Bartlett. Another family tomb, recently done in this white marble. Probably very expensive in its day, but sadly the inscription needs cleaning before it can be deciphered. What I do notice is a number of the Commonwealth war graves stones. There's a group of 4 over there, another one over there. If I just pan round over here, we've got 2 standing in splendid isolation, and in fact on my left is another one in isolation. Let's go and have a look at those 2. Well, these 2 are both from the First War, and both died in May 1919, although not of the same date. Let's give you a little view on this one. This is Private F.G. Lewis, Labour Corps, 21st of May 1919, aged 28. And interestingly at the top, which I've not seen in any others, buried elsewhere in this cemetery. And what it means is they don't actually know where he was buried, probably in a pauper's grave. And this one's exactly the same, buried elsewhere in this cemetery. Private J. O'Leary, Monmouthshire Regiment, 1919, aged 23. The other one standing all by itself under this tree here on my left. Pioneer P car, Royal Engineers, 15th of January 1918. And I must just show you this one. This has two names. Both of them are Lewis. Private Lewis, E. Lewis, North Somerset Yeomanry, age 23, and driver W.J. Lewis, age 22, and they died a day apart, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. A memorial stone laid beside the path to numerous members of the Scarrett family: John, Thomas, Shadrach, Elizabeth, Fanny, May, Mabel, Blanche, Elizabeth, John and Rosemary. There's a whole list of the family names there, a whole family tree. I've moved across the road now to the new part of the graveyard. Much neater, all in rows, stones generally much smaller. On the left of the entrance as we come in is this well-kept garden of remembrance for people that were cremated. And on the other side of the path is this small area which is a children's graveyard. I'll just show you one from the many deserving memorials. Harper Rose Taylor, March 2015 to November 2015. Those 7 months. Even got a picture of her there. Well, as I mentioned before, we're just in Wales here. Josh Oliver Morgan, young man who died aged 24, has got the Welsh dragon at the top of the stone. Don't be sad because it's over. Smile because it happened. Nearby is Angela Ann Ross, and she's got a picture of a small dog on the left hand side. Andrew Derek Dash has got the Liverpool Football Club badge. You'll never walk alone. And here's one to 11-year-old Harrison Alexander Marshall. Now it looks like Lego men on the left, the police box from Doctor Who, and is that Homer Simpson on the right? You'll have to correct me if I've got it wrong. For Terence John Pratt, known as Terry, they put a trumpet at the top, and he lived to the great age of 81 years. For Frank Richard Hall, 69, brother and uncle, it's a rugby ball. We are in Wales, great rugby playing and loving nation. Here for Michael Derek Hobbs, they've put a barometer, actually screwed it onto the stone, and then underneath the dates it says Green Street Man and Boy. Now the locals will presumably know what that means. It goes right over my head, that one. For Glyn David Thomas, a rather quizzical looking dog, and clearly a very cared for gravestone. Away from all the modern highly polished black marble with gold lettering, this stands out because it's quite different. In loving memory of Ron Butler and Betty Butler. Now that's probably a cat, but it looks like a rather larger animal than a cat, perhaps a cheetah on the stone. Either way, it's a very pleasant standing out memorial from all the rest of the black stone which stretches into the distance. a pair of Islamic graves. At the top it says, "There is only one God and Muhammad is his messenger." And over here the same. And this small one here, John Edward Ainley, has got the Olympic rings at the top. Was he just a fan, or did he take part? Well, from the very well kept new part of the cemetery in Chepstow, I'm going to leave it now and recommend you come and see it if you're in the area. Till the next time.